Hey y'all, welcome to the media chat room where the celebrity headlines are talking. Hey y'all, from the headlines today, we will be covering Tyrese Gibson and DJ Envy. We have the full compilation of the interview that was conducted at the Breakfast Club between DJ Envy, Tyrese, and Charlamagne the God. Then we have the response from Tyrese. Also, we have the response from Gia, DJ Envy's wife, and then another response from Tyrese. Now y'all sit back and relax and get ready to get the full details as to what's going on in these headlines. Trust me, we're going to get into all that. But first, I'm going to need you to subscribe to the channel. In the media chat room, we'll be discussing all of the latest hot topics going on with your favorite celebrities. So if the streets are talking about it, so are we. Now all I need you to do is make sure that you hit your notification bell so that you can know when we upload our next video.
Don't appreciate about. No,
it's not about his records.
I don't need my records played.
Yeah,
but I will say this.
But this is the part that I don't appreciate about Envy. Is when Tyrese divorce comes across your headline. When the captions associated to the things that come across your desk. Where's that same heart and love that I extended to you that you could extend to me, instead of it just being paper pushing and this is what Tyrese is on the gram again.
That's
and
exactly
then
what
it's
he
like,
do.
okay, that's expected. No, it's all right. This is my brother.
Well, Envy can't sing though.
No, Envy
can't.
never does
Shut
that
up,
though.
man. Why is everything a joke to you?
I'm not joking.
Why is everything serious?
While
that.
every on-air personality, blog, podcast, whatever, they got a job to do. They're going to say things for clickbait, ratings, this and that. But when you have certain people on the radio and you've developed some type of relationship with them, and again, you owe me nothing, right? Ultimately, you did the work.
Right.
God just decided to take my hand and use it in any way he can. And there's nobody that could ever give me more props than what God has done for me.
Yeah.
To say, like, good job, son. You did everything I asked you to do. You don't even know what I have in mind for you, but you did it. And there's a very married couple that was very married. Everybody go through things. But why is my marriage funny? Why is my divorce just something to talk about?
Perfect.
Where
Good
is
question.
the outreach?
This is a good conversation. Let's put it all out there. Go ahead.
Where is the call? You good, Reese?
It's like
We
I
checked
need to
on
come
you.
to Atlanta and come pull up on you at the house. And
Charlamagne did,
put my
but
eyes on you.
Let me tell you.
Charlamagne came to do an interview that I requested for him to do. I'd never stepped in, and God never used me to step in when this man's marriage was potentially on the brink.
I'm gonna tell you why. It's kind of like when a preacher tells you something in church, right? And the preacher tells you what you need to do to be better. Then you look at the preacher's life and you say, how do you teach me something that you're not doing? I don't respect the preacher anymore.
Oh shit.
I respect the message and how it came. But you know what I've been through, and you know how I changed as a man and as a person. And you were there for it. You was a brother for it. But then when I look at my brother and saying what he's telling me to do and how he's telling me to live, he's not living that way. I don't respect it.
How do we know that though?
Well, I'm gonna tell you why. Because and these are the things that we've seen, and not only in private, because things that we know in private, but it's also things that I see in public.
Okay.
Me and my wife are good, right?
Hold on. I got to respond to that.
Let me give examples first so you understand where I'm coming from. Because if you don't know where I'm coming from, you're just going to pull things out the blue.
I'm not going to pull anything out the blue. I'm going to respond to what you just said. First of all, to arrive at an opinion of what I'm doing versus what I'm not doing is based on public consumption. I never made a decision, or God never used me to make a decision about your life based on what was being reported on public consumption. What I know about you, what I know about what you did, what I ultimately knew about what your wife was feeling and carrying and what y'all were in the process of, you couldn't read none of that online. I got that information from the outreach. So whatever feelings you have about me and what I should be or shouldn't be doing pertaining to my approach with how I'm unraveling and bleeding out loud in the middle of my thing, that would have actually been the reason to call.
No, and I did have conversations with you, and this is from before your ex-wife when you were talking to the girl out overseas and who you were as a man. I didn't respect that. And then when we talk on these private chats and has nothing to do with the public, just having to do with who you were and how you speak and how you talk about the people next to you, I didn't respect it. To the point where I blocked you on my chat because I didn't want to see Tyrese as that. That's not the man that was my brother.
Let's shoot bail because I think this is a great conversation because I think it's a lot of miscommunication between all of us, right? And you were going through a lot back then because you admitted that to me. Because when me and you had words.
Are we talking about psych med?
Yeah. That's when you was on the psych med.
It's a little bit of everything.
He was on the psych meds then because you said you don't even remember a lot of the stuff you were saying. Though.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't at all. Yeah. So it's like when you get drunk, do you hold your boy to what he's saying while he's drunk?
No, I never held that against you.
Okay. Do you hold anybody to anything that they're doing when you know that this is their usual self? They were drunk, they were out of their mind, and they end up saying and doing some shit that hurt my feelings, that was offensive, that made me feel a way. But I know that characteristically, that's not who this man is.
Well, yeah, see the difference is, I honestly don't know what psych meds you were on or who you were during that point. I don't know.
It's called Rick Salty. It fucked me up.
I don't know. I never had a conversation with you because I never wanted to see you like that. The person who spoke to me on these texts, spoke to my wife during that time at the text, I didn't like that. And I wanted to remember Tyrese as a person that was my brother and helped my relationship, not the Tyrese that I was going through. So I took a step back from you
got
until we had a conversation.
Messages of the psych med Tyrese?
He did. That's what it was.
You crazy? Charlamagne told you to suck his dick before on that message.
Because you was talking crazy.
Whoa.
You know that. We had this conversation already.
Guys.
But he literally said, I don't remember any of that.
I don't remember what I said that made you say that or made you feel that way.
But to this point, I took a step back because I didn't know what you were going through. And I tried to talk to you, and I seen who you were. And I didn't even like who you were online. And to my point, I tried. And when I seen how you were talking this way, I said, I'm going to take a step back.
And you know, when me and Tyrese had a
How convenient? Yeah, how convenient. Yeah, when the way you were talking, the way that you were.
How convenient to step back.
What you mean?
I never stepped back from you.
From you.
It's right.
You should have
But I never talked to your wife in a disrespectful manner. And you talked to mine in a disrespectful manner.
Oh.
And I never told nobody that. Even when you were on, and you could say you were on those psych meds, and you could say that you weren't.
What you mean?
But as a man, some of the things that you said, Tyrese, deserved me to box your mouth.
No.
We were talking because this is something that I never wanted to say. And since he wants to be, well, why Envy? I'm telling him why. You said disrespectful shit to my wife.
What do you say?
It's neither here nor there. To the point where my wife doesn't call you back anymore. And to the point when you started talking to psych meds, me and my wife had a conversation and said, well, maybe Tyrese was on those medicines when he said it. But if you ever text me and my wife, you can't text me because I just unblocked you probably about a month ago when me and Charlamagne was talking, and he told me that you were on the psych meds and this is what it was.
This is longer than a month ago.
Yeah, that's what made me unblock you. So that was the reason why I stopped talking to you and will not reach out to you anymore, because I'm like, I don't want to remember my brother as that. And maybe you were going through problems. So if somebody if I talk to your wife disrespectful, I don't expect for you to come check on me. Okay. And that's how I felt at that time.
Okay. You did that to a lot of people though, Ty.
But maybe y'all should have had this conversation.
No. Listen, this is not the first time I've said this. The things that I said and did, the people that I rubbed the wrong way, the things that I posted, my conduct overall that was literally out of my control. I've literally prayed that people can find it in their heart to not hold me to something that I said and did while I was literally out of my mind. All right, y'all. So, I've lost a little sleep since I've been home about a man accusing me of disrespecting his wife, as he said. Charlamagne in the background said, "What did he say?" I was wondering too. What did I say? So of course, you know, the beautiful thing about the iMessage, the iCloud, it gives you an opportunity to recall text messages, and I don't see nothing in the text messages directly into Envy or directly into his wife where I disrespected him or her. First of all, I think of all things that hurt me, anybody who knows me knows that I know and been around some of the most beautiful people, you know, girlfriends, baby mamas, wives, It's not even in my character to disrespect any man, specifically his wife. And yes, they can milk, not they, because I don't even know that his wife actually feels this way, but it's okay to milk the psych meds. Oh, you said a bunch of shit that you reckless. You know what? I'm still on my apology tour. Y'all seeing everything. I spoke about it in the interview. But I literally just had to pull up some receipts. And I had to go and look at my phone and say, when is the last time we were actually communicating? And does anything about our communication feel like I actually disrespected his wife or him? Because whether I was on psych meds or not, you're not describing me. You're not describing me as a man. That was the most hurtful thing ever. Charlamagne said, well, what did he say? Want to box you in the mouth. Hee hee ha ha. So, listen. I'm not going to show y'all what we were texting about. I just want to show you the debt. That says DJ Envy wife, DJ Envy, mission. Right? That's when I was on a mission to help in any way I could to step in and help his marriage. And then, if you look here, that says August 23rd, 2022. This is a text chain with me, Envy, and his wife. Not 2017, 2018, where I supposedly disrespected his wife and I was blocked. I got receipts. If your wife blocked me, if you blocked me, how are we communicating about anything August 23rd, 2022? Now, let's go a little further. Here is some communication directly with your first lady. Okay? The last thing we were texting about was we were actually trying to figure out, because I told y'all I've been very uncomfortable about talking about what God used me to do and blah, blah, blah. Like, I did it as from my heart. I didn't know him. I don't have a history. He ain't my brother. We ain't family. We ain't childhood homies. So it was such a random assignment, and I ended up doing it. But for him to go on the airwaves and say, I wanted to box you in the mouth because you disrespected my wife blocked you, I blocked you, and I just unblocked you a month ago, that's a fucking lie, bro. That is a lie. Look at this, man. Me and your wife were communicating August 11th, 2022. August 11th, 2012. Look, I said something that was 7 hours and 3 8. She said without fail. Like, I got receipts. I'm sending images of my new Rolls Royce to your wife. Like, I know y'all always got nice cars and this and that. Like, if she blocked me, if I actually disrespected her, as you allege, and you felt the way, how are we communicating August 22nd, 2023? It's bullshit, bro. Like, that's like, look what your wife just texted back and said. Absolutely beautiful. Talking about me purchasing an island in Turks and Caicos. That was August 23rd, 2023. Come on, man. And the last time that all three of us was on the text chain, we were actually going back and forth trying to figure out when can we finally do an IG live with all three of us finally talking about what God put on my heart to do on behalf of the marriage. So I'm going to ask you, sir, since all of this is played out for the public, did I disrespect your wife? Or did I not? Because why would your wife be communicating and responding with me with all the good energy that it's always been? And why would you be communicating with me and your wife on a text chain? And why am I texting you directly and you're responding? There is no problem. There is no disrespect. Just be a man and say, when you went through the same shit that I was going through, I just needed an out. I needed to just like, yo, I'm not fucking with none of that. Just say it. And then here's the last thing that nobody knows. When I had my psych med meltdown, it was around 2017 because I woke up to the news September 11th. And probably like a month later is when this goofy ass psychiatrist gave me the psych med saying it's going to help you to calm down and stabilize your mood, and it fucked me up. The psych med episode had already came and went. Me and my ex were still together over a year and a half after the whole thing went down. Me, you, and your wife have been on calls. We've been texting. We've been communicating. And we've been good. So for you to say, I stopped fucking with you because you disrespected my wife, and my wife blocked you and I blocked you, and we just wasn't fucking with you, and every time you came to Atlanta and you texted me like, yo, pull up to the crib. You know why I was inviting you to the crib? I was inviting you to the crib because you were in town DJing. I wasn't inviting you to the crib to hash out no issues about me disrespecting your wife, because I never disrespected your wife. You never said I disrespected her. She never said. It's a lie. Just be a man and be honest and say you went above and beyond for me out of the goodness of your heart. And I didn't have it in me, nor did she, to step up and help you when you was in the middle of a crisis. Y'all could have flew to Atlanta. Your first lady could have pulled my ex-wife to the side and had 5-6 lunches and dinners and did whatever she had to do to try and get her to stay committed to the marriage. You could have pulled me to the side and had conversations with me. You could have did anything. And even if you had attempted to help, she would have still made her decision and said, no, I'm out. I praise God every day that something that God put on my heart to say to you and your wife actually helped y'all in any way I could. But let's not be out here lying and creating characteristics in a man that ain't there, bro. I'm gonna box you in the mouth over some shit. First of all, hee hee ha ha, nigga, for real. But second of all, you lying on me, bro. You just making shit up. I got receipts. August 23rd. Text messages. I'm not going to show y'all what we texting about. Text messages. Text. Responses. Text. Where is the person? This is his wife. This is First Lady. Where is the person? She's giving me Rashawn's new cell phone number. August the 10th, 2022. The psych med and the supposed disrespect happened in 2017. So what I want us to do is I want us to be adults. And I want us to leave the conversation alone. And I want you to go ahead and keep wrestling with what you're wrestling with, which is that brother went out of his way and he was there for me. And I've been laughing at him on my show. I've been talking shit. I've been throwing shots. I've been looking at the rumor report. We've been donkeying it a day in it, reading my captions and all my shit. And you've been just every time a guest come on your show, you say, hey man, what's up with Tyrese? I'll be like, damn, Envy, why you trying to bait niggas into talking shit about me? You did it to Ludacris? You did it to Tank? You be bringing my name up when people come on the show. And I'm like, what my bro? That's why I came into the show feeling the way. Why I'm on my Instagram? I'm going to tell you why I'm on my Instagram. Because everything about what you said was on a public platform. And I'm addressing this shit publicly to let the world know. Your girl, your baby mama, your wife, not Envy's, but anybody you can leave me in a private room and you can secretly record the conversation. I will never disrespect another man's wife. I will never disrespect another man's woman. As a matter of fact, when women break up with dudes and they're going through what they're going through, if I actually know the nigga and this ex-wife or ex-girlfriend is all of a sudden available, I won't even fuck with that. That ain't who I am as a man. There's too many women out here to be out here messing with somebody if you know somebody that they used to. Like, come on, man. That's integrity that you learn in the hood, nigga. Real hood niggas know. You can get your whole motherfucking head caved in. For real. For fucking with another nigga's wife. We don't play those games. Too many niggas have been laid out in the hood for crossing that line. You don't do that. August 2022. To make text messages directly into your wife's phone, text chains between me. You just blocked me a month ago. That's a lie. I disrespected you and your wife blocked me. That's a lie. That's a lie. And I deserve an apology. The way you came at my wife, I should box you in the... How did I come at your wife, bro? Just say, I never gave a fuck about helping you when you was fucked up the way you went above and beyond to help me. Own it, nigga. Own it. When you had your meltdown and your problems and you was on the brink of your... Look, a year and a half after the Psych Med episode, that's when Samantha divorced me. There was no Psych Meds in sight, and me, you, and your wife were all still very much so in touch. On calls, communication, text chains. I ain't gotta lie and make shit up, nigga. I got receipts, bruh. You're wrestling with what you decided to not do when my world was crashing down because you know I went above and beyond to do something for you that I didn't have to do. So let's not justify it. Let's not start grabbing shit out the sky to make yourself feel good about you hitting the parachute button on me when shit hit the fan for me. I'm gonna leave it alone. Paint your picture, say what you say, talk about what you talk about. Our last exchange was about us finally going on Instagram to talk about the book that y'all put me in, which I'm honored and grateful that y'all decided to tell the story. I didn't want you to. But y'all decided to do interviews and tell everybody what God used me to do to step in and help in any way I could. And you have decided to not be there for me. And you feel bad about it. You feel like shit about not helping me in any way. Yes, you do. And if you want to know why I invited you to my crib when you was in Atlanta, because I actually know you. And we, me, you and your wife have all still been on calls, communicating and still cool. So that fuck shit you talking about, disrespecting my wife and where? How? When? What? And if I really did, you would have blocked me in 2017 and never unblocked me ever until it was addressed. So you decided to wait until we was on your radio show to talk about some shit that never happened. Love Transaction, my new song, is available on all streaming platforms. Please go and support their book. It's on Amazon, it's available. I Don't Think You Ever Loved Me, featuring Lenny Kravitz and Leandria Johnson. It's available. Clearly, Envy is not going to play my music on his show. But I got receipts, bruh. And to describe me and put that type of energy on me, you couldn't be more wrong. You couldn't even be more wrong about some shit that I would do when I know I was out of my mind, but I'm almost sure I didn't even disrespect you or your wife when I was out of my mind. Because if I did, why have we still been in touch on text chains and individually? Y'all have a blessed day. Somebody just wrote, why didn't I say this during the interview? Well, I didn't say this during the interview because I was not about to pull out my fucking phone and pull up text messages and look at the dates and the energy or the dates and the times that we have been communicating right there in the middle of an interview. But this has been fucking with me, that this man would put this type of energy on me. So I had to come home, calm down, and pull out my receipts. And I got them. And the same text message to my phone is in their phone. What I'm gonna say is simple. Don't respond, Envy. Don't say nothing. Don't jump out there. Just leave it alone, bro. You got way other bigger things that you fighting through right now. You don't want this smoke. I promise you don't want this smoke. Because I got receipts. And I'm not making nothing up. Just say, when you had an opportunity to step in and help me when I was depressed and sad and confused and about to lose my wife and my family, you didn't do anything and you didn't help and you didn't feel the need to help. Y'all could have flew in town. Y'all could have called us. Y'all could have did anything. You just didn't do it. That's it. That's the bottom line. And a whole lot of people didn't help either, that I've been there for as well. And I gotta just go to God on this, man. And I gotta just let it go. And I'm only on this IG Live because you can't put, no, I would never, ever disrespect and cross the line, flirt with, throw shots. I don't play those games, my nigga, at all. And if I actually disrespected your wife, why are we still texting with text chains between me, you, and her? Why have I been texting you direct? Why have I been texting her direct? Because it's all good. So I thought, until you dropped the bombshell on the Breakfast Club. Charlamagne said, damn, nigga, what did he say? What did he do? I'm asking the same question. Obviously, it was nothing. Because if it was, where are the receipts? Envy, I forgive you. First Lady, I forgive you. And if I actually said anything, whether I was on psych meds or not, that was actually disrespectful. I don't remember what I said. I don't remember what I did. Allegedly. If I did say something, if I did disrespect you, Envy, or your wife in any capacity, I hope you find it in your heart to forgive me. Do I believe I disrespected y'all? I don't believe it for 1 second. Because if I was actually blocked, why have we been texting this whole time? You didn't unblock me a month ago. You just wanted to go viral. My nigga. Stay blessed. Click the link in my Instagram bio. Love Transaction is my new single that just got released. I Don't Think You Ever Loved Me is my song that just got released about the divorce and everything that I've been dealing with. And I would love for y'all to hear it. Envy's not going to support Love Transaction. It's fine. For everybody else, over 50 radio stations that's already playing my song, and we haven't even officially went to radio. I just want to say thank you. That means the world to me. I never thought I would ever sing these songs or release songs with this type of context and lyrics, but it's out there. So let's take all this energy and let's get back into our positivity. Woosah, vibes, energy. But the only way I can rest at night is if I clear my name. And y'all can have whatever opinions y'all want. But I'm not finna go to sleep at night and have a man to attack my character. And if I actually did what you said I did, why have we all still been in touch? That's all. Have a great day, boys and girls.
So Tyrese was on the Breakfast Club last week, and he was talking about some of the things that he didn't like about the Breakfast Club, and he said that he was upset that we didn't check on him when he was going through his problems, because when I was going through my problems with my wife, when we were at our lowest, he was there to help. And I told him during that conversation, I didn't, because you said some things to my wife and myself that I thought was disrespectful. He said we didn't check up on him. We checked up on him numerous times. I guess after the interview, everything was good. He apologized. We left on a positive note. But I guess when he got back home, maybe he read the comments, maybe social media, whatever it was, he got into a fit. And one post, he started crying and said we don't respect his mental. And then yesterday, he did a whole long video and he called me a liar.
I'm so sick of people putting that in what you said, because you didn't say box him in your mouth. You said I want to box your mouth.
Right.
I want to box your mouth.
So to answer Tyrese, yes, he was blocked. And the reason I know he was blocked is because he had Charlamagne and myself on a group text, and I never replied because I didn't see it. He did speak to my wife, and he wanted me and my wife to go on live, and he wanted to ish on his ex Samantha. He wanted to ish on his wife. And I actually texted him, and I said, good morning. No, I'm passing on this. I prayed on it. Wasn't in the card. Stay blessed. Have an amazing day. Right? Because I didn't want to be a part of him ishing on his wife. Right? So then he said I was lying and he never said anything disrespectful to my wife. Well, what he actually did was, when they were talking, he was one of those dudes. And we all know that guy that tries to plant those seeds. If you had a man like me, it wouldn't have went down like that. I would have never. And I never said anything. And I'm going to tell you why I never said anything. I never said anything because, yes, Tyrese was there and he did help save my marriage. And I was like, I just don't want to ish on that. So I just kept it quiet and I just stepped away from him. Because it's difficult, because you have somebody that helped, but then you also have somebody that's trying to hurt. But me and my wife accepted the help side, and he opened us up to a place where, we were able to fix our relationship and fix our marriage. And our marriage is even stronger now. Then I got a text. July 8th, 2022. You got the text? I just sent you the text, right? That's somebody that works for Tyrese. You see that text?
I'm looking at the text.
Now, I never mentioned anything to anybody that he flirted with my wife. What does that text say?
I'm not reading this.
It says, yo, DJ Envy, blessings. Stay away from Tyrese, bro. He tried to destroy my marriage and career. He will do the same to y'all. Please, I'm open to talk to you. I'm not trying to gain anything from this. I'm just sick of the devil, and I refuse to know what I know and not tell good people what's up with that cat. Please stay away. He will try and get your wife. What's the date of that?
July 8th, 2022.
July 8th, 2022. So
it actually said, please stay away. He will try to get you and your wife.
Right. Shut up. But that just shows that's him as a person. Then the guy, he posts his picture and tells you his name, tells you who his wife is, tells you the people he knows. He says, I want you to be real, because that's what Tyrese did. He did it to me, flirted with my wife, and he's doing it with you. He had no idea, because I don't even know this gentleman.
I don't know why y'all didn't have that conversation when he was just up here.
Because I didn't want to disrespect him. I was like, I'm just going to tell him what it is and leave it at that. He apologized, and he said it was the psych meds. Remember, it's the psych meds. Oh, my God, I would never. Bull-ish.
Y'all lied to me. We sat here and had a whole hour and 30-minute conversation, and now you saying all of this stuff after the fact, Tyrese saying all of this stuff after the fact.
And you know what? You're absolutely right. Let's call my wife, please.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
Jesus Christ.
Am I on the radio?
Yes, you are. You're on the radio. Tyrese is calling me a liar. For people that don't know, I stopped talking to Tyrese, and there was a reason why I stopped talking to Tyrese. Not because only did I think he was a bozo and full of ish, but also because of the way that I felt he was talking and conducting business with my wife. So I'm going to step back, and I want Charlamagne to ask the questions, because I don't want you.
Don't ask me.
I want you to ask.
Charlamagne is not getting involved.
I want you to ask.
In no way, shape, or form. This is good morning, Gia. By the way, okay.
Good morning.
This is a conversation between a husband and a wife, and why the husband stopped talking to somebody and why the wife stopped talking to somebody. So the husband and wife should have a conversation. I'm sitting back watching the Casey Crew live. Go.
Good question. So, babe, just for people that don't know, Tyrese helped save our relationship when we were going through probably our lowest point, and I cheated. Tyrese came in and really helped us and guided us through our relationship. Correct?
Yes, he did. Absolutely.
And then we got to a point where we stopped talking to Tyrese. I even blocked Tyrese. And I wanted to box his mouth, as I said the other day. And can you explain to the people why we stopped talking to Tyrese?
Well, we stopped talking to Tyrese on 2 different occasions. Once many, many years ago, when he did do that amazing thing for us. He and I became friends, and we were very, very cool, and we spoke often. And a lot of times you'd be laying in the bed next to me while I was talking to him. And at first, everything was cool, but for me, it got to a point where it became inappropriate and uncomfortable, where I felt as though lines were being crossed, and you felt as though lines were being crossed, and we both decided that we were going to take a step back. And there was times where I felt like he was extremely demanding of my time and of my attention, where if I didn't give him my time and my attention, he would get very angry, get very upset, and let me know what his expectations were of me. And, at that time, I didn't feel as though he was going through any mental issues. I didn't feel as though he was facing any mental challenges at that time. I know that he does go through things, and I know that he has been on medication, but at that time I felt as though he was very clear-minded and everything seemed cool. But when I started to feel uncomfortable and you started to feel uncomfortable, we took a step back.
Well, what lines were crossed? Because people would be like, well, what lines did he cross?
I don't really feel comfortable being specific because at the same time, I still do have a respect for him. I know that you still do have a respect for him. I would feel more comfortable just being general and saying that, there was flirting and inappropriate compliments for a woman who's married.
Okay. I respect that.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
I don't have respect for him though, but yeah, no, I get it, and you do it, and I appreciate that what he did.
How did you see it?
No, I know,
Huh?
I know that everything that's going on right now, and I know that he's being boisterous about it. I haven't been on Instagram in the last 2 weeks because we've been really busy, but you've told me some things, but I haven't really seen it firsthand, so it's not going to affect me the same way it's affecting you because I haven't seen it. But what I can say is that very clear lines were crossed. And
I get it.
So how did you see it, Envy?
There's certain things that you don't say to a man's wife. There's certain things that you don't say to a man's girlfriend. There's certain things that you don't say in a flirtatious way. And I told you what he said. You spoke to my wife yesterday, so you know what he said.
So that's why you wanted to box. That's why you said I'll box your mouth.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to box his mouth. It's just certain things you don't play with somebody's wife like that. And
were you upset that he wasn't flirting with you in any way, shape, or form?
A little bit. No, you see, you playing too much. But no. When it comes to it, I look at it like this. Tyrese did help save my marriage, and I have a respect for him for that. That's the reason why instead of going at him, I just let it go. I just not spoke to him anymore until he starts going up. Now, I don't know if he has a record to sell. He's trying to push his record or whatever it may be. I just don't like it. And the reason I don't like it is that man was up here. He was in our faces. We had a conversation. After the conversation, we let things go. And it's just always weird when people do that. They go home and now all of a sudden they do other things. We just had a conversation. We was just here for an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, that was strange.
But and I'm sorry to wake. I know you got to get the kids to school. I know 2 got to go to school right now, so I appreciate it. But I just don't like to be called a liar. And when somebody says, I got receipts, when I'm like, no, you spoke to my wife.
What receipts? What do you mean he said he has receipts? Because,
who knows?
I wouldn't want to, listen, I'm going to be honest. I don't want to be put in a position to divulge the things that were said. But if he's calling you a liar, it didn't have to go that far. If he's calling you a liar, then that's a step that might have to be taken, because by no stretch of the imagination are you a liar. By no stretch of the imagination are you exaggerating anything.
Okay.
It was very clear. It was very inappropriate. and your reaction was very appropriate.
It's funny how when you try and clear your name, we're still doing grabbing text messages out of the sky and coming up with things that I said or did that was allegedly inappropriate, flirting. Like, Listen, I want to talk to the men for a second, to all the fellas, all the real men who don't play no motherfucking games when it comes to their wife or their girl. I'll talk to you for a second. Imagine a man stepping in to help you and your family in any capacity. And then all of a sudden, you're now flirting and disrespecting that man's wife. Would you still be in touch with that nigga? In any capacity? Would you let your wife still be in touch with that man? In any capacity? Likely, your answer is gonna be no. You know why your answer is gonna be no? Because that is a line that no man should ever, I don't give a fuck who you are, what you've done for me and my family. There is no way that any man will ever be able to disrespect me, especially my wife. So you sit with that for a second. And then, because I got so much love for First Lady, it's obvious that they had some pre-conversations before she jumped on and did the interview. I'm not on the radio, am I? Of course. Listen, guys. One of the most inconsistent, obvious parts of this whole thing is that you claim that I disrespected you and your wife while I was on psych meds. And then we've still been in touch for another 4 years on text chains and communicating directly. And your wife even mentioned that there's been times that while Envy was laying in bed next to her, we were on the phone chopping it up about whatever we're chopping it up about. The disrespect had already happened. The alleged flirting and all the shit that you're claiming had already happened. So not only am I on the phone chopping it up and having good vibes and conversation, which has always been, but you're now a man that's laying in the same bed with your wife who disrespected your wife. It's not adding up, bro. It's not adding up, man. Y'all do know that 2017, the year, is very different than 2023, right? So at the end of the day, man, what I want to do again is I just want us to move on. Let's just stop. Okay? And when I say you're a liar, I'm not going to change my story, bro. I'm a Capricorn, man. We don't do well with being lied on. Period. I will clear my name and defend my name to the end of the earth. Who stays in touch with any man who's allegedly flirting and trying to take shots at their first lady? Like, yo, bro, to even have those words to come out your mouth is more hurtful than any joke y'all ever cracked on that show. Like, I don't play those games, bro. Period. And the last thing I'm going to say, and again, I'm done with it. As we were going back and forth on our text chain, we were going back and forth trying to communicate about us finally getting on a call, which would have been on Instagram Live, to talk about what God put on my heart to do for this family. And his wife was telling the truth when she mentioned, no, I think Envy was telling the truth. Well, he was telling the truth about us going from talking about the book and talking about all that it took for them to do the work. They did the work. I stepped in to help in any way I could, but they did the work. But we were going to transition into talking about my ex, not bashing her, not tearing her down, not ripping her into pieces, but talking about, how am I doing? How are you holding up? You know, what has this divorce and this whole thing been like for you? I would never use a stage or a platform from Envy and his first lady to go on an IG Live and start bashing my ex. That's just not true. So, look, man, Envy, with all due respect, bro, I never lied to your first lady. I never did anything behind her back. I'm not in the middle of a lawsuit and a Ponzi scheme and all the people you lied to allegedly with your real estate partners and all that shit you running around with, dealing with. I never lied about anything. You got all kind of niggas coming at you because you say one thing and it ain't adding up. So did I disrespect your wife on psych meds? Or did I disrespect your wife and you that I've still been in touch with over the last 4 years? It ain't adding up, bruh. So what I would say is, let's all three of us make a commitment to say, we are not on the same page. We don't see these things through the same lens. And this is biblical. No good deed shall go unpunished. I'm not the type of nigga that be pulling out no text messages but bro, if when I lose sleep when someone lies on me and attacks my character. To all of the men, whether you're a husband, a boyfriend, a baby daddy, 4 years later, would you be okay with a man who is flirting and disrespecting your wife or have disrespected your wife, allegedly talking on a call to your wife while you're laying in the bed? It ain't adding up, man. So let's just move on. Let's move on. And at no point was I ever a charity case. I went through and I've been through some shit. But nobody takes a phone call from me while their husband is in the same bed and I've crossed the line, said and did something inappropriate. And whoever this nigga is that you talking about, saying he did that to me too, give that nigga my direct cell phone number, whoever the fuck he is. Cause I don't run from no smoke, bro. I'm a man first. And there's just certain things you don't say and you don't do. and I know this all too well. I'm not a nigga that grew up in the suburbs. I'm not a nigga that grew up around white people that don't understand black culture and the sensitivities of lines and boundaries and things that you don't cross. Did I disrespect you and your wife when I was on psych meds or not? The story ain't adding up. So at the end of the day, man, let's just stop talking about it. You're on your way to Atlanta in the next couple of days to DJ at some venue and event. If we want to be a man about this shit, because it all air, y'all been coming at me for 5 years on the Breakfast Club. I finally got a chance to go in there and not talk about you, but talk to you and Charlemagne. And I did think that the interview was something that, oh shit, everybody watching, looking, paying attention to what's going on. I'm clear about it. And I know that this is going to influence a lot of us as men to stop festering and holding on to things or assuming this was said and done and get away from all of that goofy shit. Because in this life, I've learned people will talk about you, but never talk to you. And if you just talk to a nigga, if I said and did something, I'm never above an apology. I don't gaslight, I don't play victim, and I don't run from no smoke, especially if it's something that I said and did and caused.
I can't wait to hop in the comments and see what y'all gonna say. I'm off to prepare the next headline, but don't forget to subscribe, and I will talk to you soon.